and I showed up in square-toed shit kickers, which are crappy cowboy boots that you definitely don't wear to dinner. I showed up in a ball cap and jeans like I had just got off the farm, and I never felt overly country in my hometown. I never felt overly that, and then I got to Belmont and I was like, am I a hillbilly? And I will never forget freshman year, there were so many kids. They're like, oh yeah, last time I was in the studio, I da-da-da-da-da. Or you have to listen to my new EP on iTunes. And I'm like, what's an EP? But I learned very quickly that none of that mattered. Could I out-sing everybody in the room? Was I going to outwork everybody in the room? And did I have something truthful to say that someone else would feel seen by?
Hi, it's Ben here. Welcome back to Country Roads. This is the podcast where we journey back to the places that have shaped our favourite country artists and inspired some of their biggest and best love songs. Whether it's the small hometowns that they couldn't leave behind or couldn't wait to leave, the cities where they chased down their dreams, or the big landscapes that gave them space to breathe, everywhere we go leaves a trace on us somehow, and it all comes out in the music. This is Country Roads. Now, my guest today is such a breath of fresh air. Kassi Ashton came into this interview heart first, and I just felt like I was chatting with a friend right from the beginning. Now, Kassi is a real artist. A part of her goes into everything she does, from her soulful lyrics to the outfits that she actually designs and makes all by herself. It's all distinctly her. Now, she describes herself as a soulful, gritty thing. And that's kind of the best way to sum up the country music she's bringing into the world. Because for 7 years, she's had to fight for her debut album to live and breathe and just be in the world. But that means that every song has well and truly earned its place in the tracklist. And the title, Made from the Dirt, it couldn't be more perfect for this podcast. Now, Kassi can sew her own wedding dress, she can ride a motorcycle, hunt deer, and write powerful lyrics that you'll never forget. But this woman from Missouri does it all, and she's not going to let anyone tell her how she should be doing it. I can't wait for you to meet her. This is Kassi Ashton. I'm so excited to welcome to Country Roads Kassi Ashton. You are straight from the airport.
I'm straight from the airport.
You don't look like someone who's been on a plane. You look really like
Thank you.
Ready to go.
Thank you. I woke up at 6:30 this morning to do my hair and my makeup because I knew I would have to come straight here, but I'm happy to be here.
Amazing. So as we talk, you were in Belfast last night.
Yeah.
We were talking about, just before we started, a pint of Guinness that you had.
I did.
Did you split the G?
I didn't. I told you the first one I was so excited to drink Guinness for the first time in Ireland that I just started drinking without remembering what the game was supposed to be. And then the second glass that showed up, I was so excited to try my hand at splitting the G, and there was no text on the glass. I felt cheated. Honestly. I had to hold up my glass next to my old glass to try to see if I had done it. My guitar player was like, this doesn't count. We have to try again later.
So how many times did you try? How many pints?
I only tried twice because I knew we had an early flight, or else I would have been there all night.
No, and does it taste different to back home in the States?
Yes, yes. I've been really spoiled because the first time I ever had Guinness was over here.
Okay.
And then when I tried to drink it back in America, I was like, oh, it's not bad, but it is actually not the same.
I think the equivalent for us is barbecue. So if you have barbecue here, you will be like, what is going on?
Right. And then you come to America and you're like, oh.
Yeah. I refuse to eat ribs in the UK. There's just no point.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you eat meat or you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're defended.
Sorry. No, I was like, I love bacon.
I felt like you sort of flashed like, I couldn't imagine well without meat.
Yeah.
You are supporting Old Dominion at the moment. So are you traveling around Europe, Scandinavia recently as well? How is that for you? Because I know you love your fashion and your clothes. And that must be quite at home for you, all the sort of fashion there, I imagine.
Yes, but the crap thing is, I'm in Europe for 3 weeks, which means I can't pack all my fashiony, gorgeous things. So normally on tour in America, if I was on an arena tour, I would be wearing sweatpants all day until it was time to get ready for the show. And so I thought, I need to pack something that I can wear every day that's comfortable, that won't take as much room as sweatpants. So I packed a bunch of leggings. I'm not a leggings person, but I knew that it would work. So I'd go around these gorgeous places like Copenhagen in workout gear and look like a quintessential American. And I was like, no, trust me. I know ball. I just have to. I'm singing. You want tickets? Like,
Get your Instagram up. This is the cool clothes.
yes,
I have.
this is like, I make all these clothes that I wear, but don't look at my leggings.
Talking, because you said so you make your clothes. It's amazing. I want to quote you directly, if that's okay. These are not my words.
Okay.
You described yourself as a Pinterest hoe and a depot slut, I think you said.
I did say that. Yeah, I love to find cool things for cheap. Or to find something on Pinterest that has no link attached, that you can't go to Zara and buy. Not everyone has access to. And you do your research on eBay or Google reverse image search or whatever, and you find it. In that video in particular, I do it so often that I thought that I had wanted this belt for a very long time, only to find out after ordering it that I already owned one. Yeah.
So,
oops.
But how's it been, trapped? Because this tour, I think I overheard you on the bus at the moment as well, which is great. Like, on Old Dominion's crew bus or their bus.
Yeah, the crew bus, yeah.
Yeah. How was that like?
Honestly, the layout, it's so efficient because you get 2 lounges, and Old Dominion's crew, they're really kind, they're polite. I've toured with them before, so honestly, it felt like just camping with my friends. Yeah. It's been fabulous also being on a bus because I wake up every morning in the destination already, and that actually gives me time to explore the country that we're in. Whereas if I wasn't on a bus, I would be driving every day and not get to see anything.
Yeah.
It's been so fabulous to actually have time to go eat breakfast or lunch somewhere with local cuisine or see whatever TikTok is telling me to go see in that city.
It's an amazing thing because I've toured so much over the last 15 years. And yeah, when you do those sort of splitter tours, like you say, you're either driving or you're on stage or in the hotel for like 4 hours. But the bus, it's like time travel, isn't it? You just actually wake up, you're in the next place. It's the most amazing thing.
The best. If you can get used to sleeping on the bus, that's the only thing that, you know.
I love it.
It can be so broken if you're, my sleeping schedule when I got here was very broken, but I got over it with the fact of how excited I was to wake up like in Stockholm or Copenhagen or Antwerp or any of those places.
I just love it when you come downstairs, you sort of stumble down the stairs, may have a glass of water or something.
Yes.
And you press the button, the door goes psh.
Yes.
And then it's like the light comes in, you're like, where am I?
Yes.
And you're like, Copenhagen, this is so cool. Yeah.
So fabulous. And you're like, oh, you open it up and you're already in the city center. And oh, by the way, the 16th century roads and buildings, Old Town is only a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fabulous. I don't have this in Tennessee.
Is that so? You wake up, first thing you do is look at the architecture and then food straight away?
Yeah. So I would wake up, brush my teeth, get dressed into my athleisure, unfortunately. And my 2 guitar players and I, who are 2 of my good friends, we would just figure out what for the day we wanted to do, how far it was away, and if we were going to eat breakfast close to where the bus was and then venture or whatever the plan. But almost every day we would go straight to exploring.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then be back at the venue by maybe 3 p.m., sound check at 5, show at 8.
And are you loving it?
I love it.
Yeah. Happy on the road. It's just...
Oh, yeah, over anything else.
Because not everyone is. Some people don't.
Yeah, some people hate it. No, I love it. Especially in situations like this where, again, you're on the bus. You have catering in every single venue. It doesn't get easier than this. This is the part of the life that people think that you live all the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They see a movie and they're like, oh, this fabulous thing is all the time. It's not.
No.
It's maybe a quarter of the time. But you do realize that you are... You know, this is the best part of the job. Yeah,
catering. I was on tour with Darius Rucker, as we record a few weeks ago, and the catering is the one thing. Because it takes all the stress out. You get there and it's like, here's like 5 meals. Which one do you want? And all of them. Okay, fine.
Yes.
It's like,
And Old Dominion, I've been on several tours, and you can tell who is a foodie and who's not, as far as like what kind of catering package that
What's
they
it
get.
like? What's it like on Dominion?
Old Dominion, they love food.
Okay.
So, and they're healthy people and they like seasoning. And, you know, you're on some country tours and they eat fried chicken every day, which is fine. But at the same time, you're like, I need a vegetable. And so the food in all these countries has been amazing because the venues a lot of times have like in-house chefs.
Yeah.
Especially in Oslo, the food was insane in the venue. And then you feel like you're getting local fare instead of not knowing and then ending up at Five Guys. You know?
I'm just trying to imagine, like, we just met, but you seem so expressive and you're brilliant.
Thank you.
And I've spent time in Scandinavia and they're quite reserved. Was it a bit of like a culture clash at all? Or?
I try to. I was just telling my Uber driver on the way here because he was complimenting that I was kind. He said my energy, and I said I try to overcompensate for the fact that I know I'm American. Like I try to, and not that Americans are rude by any means, but I have been told by friends of mine who live in Europe that because Americans aren't exposed to as much culture, they're just kind of, our country's so big that we just have our own subculture and we don't really see other walks of life or ways of living or religions unless we leave our country. And I've been told by friends of mine that Americans can kind of be loud or in the way or not delicate to the customs of other places. So I try to be as warm and as soft as I can in those situations of like, hello, I don't know what I'm doing. So if you could just kindly, you know, turn me and push me that way, I will let you. Like.
So is this you at the sort of 50% of loudness?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No. I just try to like, walk around the countries or walk into the buildings, and I also realized that I am very, very lucky in the fact that all of these countries also speak English.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, and it makes me feel spoiled. I like recognize my privilege in that way of if I spoke anything else, I would be completely lost because I speak English and I'm still lost in these countries. But it's beautiful, and I try to soak it up as much as I can and have what they're known for tourist-wise and have what they're not known for tourist-wise, and just hopefully they bestow their local warmth on me. Yeah, their localness.
I want to get to so the podcast is all about the places that have sort of inspired you as an artist, and we'll sort of go through. But I just want to say from what you just said, like, did you travel much as a kid? Because you sound, that's so cultured the way you think about it.
Thank you.
Like, you know.
No.
Okay.
I'm from a town of 4,000 people.
Wow.
Like one stoplight. People do not leave my town.
This is California, Missouri.
Missouri, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the abbreviation is CAMO for a reason. People don't leave. I mean, they don't leave my town. They don't leave the state. And if they do, it's somewhere where they can drive. There are members of my family who have never been on an airplane.
Wow.
I traveled a lot locally within like a tri-state area for dance. I danced classical ballet and everything my entire life, and beauty pageants, and I shot muzzleloaders competitively for 10 years, so I would travel. Yes, very weird mix of
Ballet,
human being. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
we keep it balanced. In the words of Hannah Montana, you get the best of both worlds. But I think I just, in a world where we're exposed to the internet, and as someone who, from a very young age, wanted out. I remember I bought my first How to Speak French book in like 4th grade when I could barely even spell like big English words because I was like, I want out.
Really?
I want to see. I want to learn.
Is that 10 years old? I don't know, 4th grade, we don't have that.
Yeah,
yet.
like 10, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even at that age, you were like, I want
more.
This.
Yeah.
Really?
I want more.
And were your friends and family not like that? Was it just, this is the world? A lot of them, not all of them, but some, most.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. My whole family still lives there. All, like, my high school best friend still lives there. My little brother still lives there. Yeah.
Wow. So what's it like, when you go back, like, experiencing all this? I mean, can you even explain what this is like, being in London or Copenhagen, Stockholm, all these places?
It's a strange mix because I will answer questions like that if they ask, but I don't try to talk about it without being asked. because I don't want to seem like I'm
Yeah.
I'm flexing, I'm peacocking my travels or my opportunities.
Yeah.
And when I go back home, obviously when I'm around my immediate family or my best friend, I'm myself. There's not any weird, gate or block that I have to kind of impose for societal niceties. But other people, I feel like I just try to go, hey, I'm a normal person, and that weird theater president of the drama club that you knew in high school, that's still me. Like, I know that you see like an Instagram check mark or you see a picture in this arena and then they act different, even if to me, I'm still a minnow in the ocean from my perspective of my career, but they see me as something different, so I have to try to just go, hey,
I'm still me.
I'm just chill. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't like me in high school, so don't be nice now.
So to come back to sort of when you sort of growing up then, so your parents, so you've got a song called Son of a Gun.
Yeah.
Which is their story, is that right?
Yeah.
And the lyrics in that song, I mean, if you don't mind, I say a couple of them. Gas and matches shouldn't mix, but she was showing by July. So blame the fire of 1994. That I'm sweet fruit from the tree, hemlock on the tongue. There's a lot more, but the last line, I'm a son of a bitch and the son of a gun.
Yes.
Which is amazing. But can you sort of? I was fascinated looking at your story growing up because how long were your parents together for? When did they break up?
A year, 2 years maybe. So they broke up when I was born, basically.
I had the same thing with my parents.
Yeah. So they were split my whole life.
And this, what I found fascinating again was that you sort of had two lives almost.
100%.
Yeah.
Very
Can you sort
different.
of paint that picture with your mom and then with your dad, what it was like?
Yeah, so my mom is originally from Nashville, Tennessee. She can sing. My older sister can sing. And it was just us three girls and all of mom's boyfriends in the house. And that is where I did the ballet. That's where I did the beauty pageants. That's where I did the theater. My mom was very much like, you are a star, you will get out of this town, blah, 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 blah. With all of its fabulousness and all of its trauma at the same time. Obviously, that's a double-edged sword. And then at my dad's house, he was born and raised in my hometown. Lives in the middle of nowhere. Our nearest neighbors are Amish, but we are identical. My dad and I are absolutely identical. I shot muzzleloaders competitively, like I said, with my grandpa from age 7 to 17.
Sorry, can you just explain what that means? So people won't understand.
It's a black powder gun, so it's an old school rifle from like the Civil War era of America. And it's just a hobby that old men have in Missouri. And I spent time with my grandpa, and I was one of the only girls in the state to do it.
Wow. And what are you shooting? What are you shooting at?
Yeah, target shooting.
Oh, wow.
So either paper targets, like bullseyes or bears or whatever, or steel targets, which they'll have in the woods, basically thick steel cutouts of animals at different yardage.
Wow.
And those are satisfying because when you hit them, they ping. And then you know, as a kid, if you did good or not.
Right, and you were really good at that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got my first dirt bike at my dad's house when I was maybe 8. My dad has a bunch of Harley Davidsons, so I have a Harley Davidson. I'm a very weird mix of a human being.
Yeah, so classical ballet. So it sounds like...
And motorcycles.
I don't want to be too binary, but it was quite like feminine and quite masculine in a way.
Extremely, but at the same time, my mother goes to Sturgis Biker Rally every year and has a bunch of tattoos and like 13 piercings. So she looks nothing like a beauty pageant mom or that sort of thing. Beautiful, but not rough around the edges for sure. And then my dad is like more of the gentle one. Yeah. So that's very, very strange.
And do you feel, as I was again looking at your story, and I'll get to this, but I found there was a lot of fight in you to like fighting to get your album out. We're going to get to that and stuff. But did you feel... And also I felt this outsider thing slightly. Did you feel like you belonged in both places or neither place in that mum and dad's situation? Did you feel like you belonged in one,
I think my whole life and even now is a constant tightrope walk of being both. Because I would not be myself without one of those sides, which can be difficult growing up. It can be difficult in finding friendships. Luckily, I've been in therapy for a very long time, so I've somewhat figured it out. If someone sees me in camo during deer season with my dad, and I haven't worn makeup for 5 days, and I'm eating sausage with my uncles. And I say, I love fashion. I love to sew clothing. I was a classical ballerina. I sing country music. I watch the Met like it's, the Met Ball, like it's church. They'll go, yeah, sure. But if they see me in the opposite and all of my theatrical, weird, fashion-y thing, and I go, I love motorcycles, I love to hunt, I love this thing, they go, yeah, sure. And so it kind of, once I learned to own it and go, hey, this is possible to be both because I'm sitting here breathing, right? I don't have to apply myself to anything else because I'm already that.
Yeah.
It kind of really, really structured what I wanted my music to give to people.
Yeah.
Of you can be whatever you want to be.
And you can be both, like you said.
You can be both. You can be all of it. You can be none of it. It doesn't matter. And if you think that something is cool, but no one in your family does it, all you have to do is start doing it to be that. You can create your own self.
It's funny because it's not the same, but I'm half black and half white.
Yeah.
And it's very different. And particularly if I went to my Jamaican side, the music that they'll be playing. I go to the barbers where you had your haircut, and it was like going to Jamaica.
Right.
Literally, it's in London, but it would literally be reggae blaring out. And then my white side's the complete opposite. But particularly musically, did you have different music in those situations?
Yeah. So my mom, being a singer and being from Nashville, she would listen to what I classify as just power females. So if a female had long acrylic fingernails and she was snapping them in your face and she would probably hit a man in the face, that's what we listened to. So it could be anything from Loretta Lynn, classic country, anything, to Aretha Franklin blared in my house because my mom grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood. So all of the pictures of my mom as a teen, the only white person in the entire photo was my mom.
And this is in Nashville?
Yes.
Whereabouts in Nashville was
she grew up in East Nashville.
When it was sketchy?
When it was very sketchy in the 50s and 60s.
This is around 5 Points or further east?
Yeah. So it's right off of Trinity Lane.
Okay. Yeah,
so Trinity and Dickerson, when I was little, were where the prostitutes were. You did not go there. My mom grew up without a mom in a roach-infested, she grew up poor, dirt poor. And so it was just, we would listen to Aretha and Diana Ross as much as we would listen to Loretta. So any woman who had a comeback story in a way. And then at my dad's house, my dad didn't listen to much music. And if he did, it was Jamie Johnson or Merle Haggard. It was just old, grumbly, sort of motorcycle outlaw country music.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I was just thinking about how incredible that is from one generation that your mum could go from that
dirt poor
to where you are, not just the money, but just the opportunities that you have. Are you thankful to your mum particularly for that? The fact that she was trying to push you towards those things,
Oh yeah, every day. I think she really instilled in me of you can go anywhere and you can do anything. And almost to the point when I was little that there was an ego thing of
wow.
You're a star, you're a star, you're a star. Hey, you're a star. Don't forget you're a star. So you can do it. So then I just grew up with this complex that I could do it.
Yeah, but you are a star.
Thank you.
No. I mean that really objectively, actually.
Yeah.
Some people are just stars. They walk in. If you weren't doing music, you'd be. You have that personality.
Thank
I think.
you.
But that has to be nurtured, though, doesn't it? And I think the fact that your mum nurtured that, and
Agreed.
But then also your dad did as well, because your practical skills. I mean, that is so cool. That stuff you can do. It must be quite intimidating. I've heard you use the word reverse daddy issues. The phrase reverse daddy issues.
I do.
But I know you're married, but when you're having dating, it's really quite intimidating to date you. I imagine all the things you can do.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a struggle, honestly, because I have more power tools than most men I know. And I'm the one with the motorcycle, and I'm the one with more guns. And so that can be difficult. And I'm quite an independent, person. And so it was, how do I find a man that is okay with all of that and doesn't have insecurity around that and is still fully feels masculine within himself and also at the same time makes me want to be soft.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so glad you've Found that.
I did.
Would you?
I did. Thank you very much.
It's a very specific
He's
criteria.
fabulous.
I really want to ask you also about rifle season, because it's about to be.
Yeah.
Is it hunting season? It's about to hit. It's in November. Are you going to make it back? Because obviously you're touring. So.
I think so.
Okay.
I usually try on my calendar to say these are the 2 weekends of rifle season in Missouri. I have to go to one.
This is a big family event, isn't it?
It's a huge family event. Of course, like I love deer and I love the process of hunting every year, but it's a family thing.
And also, it's a real weird thing for us in the UK because we don't hunt.
Yeah, right.
And when I first started going to Nashville, there was one artist who was actually Canadian, but she showed me a photo and she was like holding the thing up and the mount. It's look at this amazing! I've shot this massive thing. And for a lot of people here, we just like, switch off. Like people just unfollow straight away. But the way you described it is it's all sustainable and it's all about you know, getting enough and it's a meat and it's a tradition of it. It's not about the, oh, look, I shot this thing, is it?
It is not a trophy thing. No. And in my family, my grandparents grew up extremely poor. And so it was a way of life to feed yourself. And my family is very, very picky about how good of a shot you are.
Okay.
So if you are not a good shot and you're not responsible with that, the ability to kill, then you don't get to hunt.
Because it's not respectful. It will mess up the meat as well.
Right. Yes, it's disrespectful. You're wasteful. Now you don't get to hunt next year. Wow. Like it's we take it very seriously, and even like I said, I shot competitively all those years with my grandpa, and he still treats me like I've never held a gun in my life. But it's a thing. And speaking of like the mount pictures, I don't do that. I don't have anything against people that do, but for me, because I am both, I have a lot of friends who would rather pass away than ever see that. So out of respect, I don't want to see a dead animal on my page.
Yeah, I personally don't understand the need to post that photo. I think you can post a photo of you doing the guy and you can talk about it, but why when you're smiling holding a dead animal? I'm just like,
and their tongues like hanging out. I don't like that.
But it doesn't make me I don't sort of like it's like that's horrible. It's just more like, why do you need to do that if it's all
I agree.
My opinion.
I agree.
Does your husband come on the hunt? Is he allowed? Okay.
Yes.
Is he a good shot?
Yeah.
Was that part of the criteria? Had to be a good shot?
No, my family kind of like took him, you know, because he wanted to. His family hunts, but my family is like it is actually bigger than Christmas. Like you know what I'm saying? So everyone could be hunters on a very normal basis, and then you meet my family, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a bit much. Yeah, and they take him under their wing, of course.
I was thinking of sort of Meet the Parents vibe in my head, the movie.
Oh, my dad is like so lovely and gets along with everybody though. So him and my husband just.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, no, my dad always says that he didn't have to meet the guy at the door with a gun because I had my own. He would be like, "Good luck."
That's amazing. It sounds like family is so important for you, and there is one song that I find so moving, Juanita. Can you tell me about that song? Tell everyone about that song because I love it.
Yeah. So Juanita is my grandma. She passed away 2 years ago on the 31st. So yeah, it'll be 2 years this weekend. She was like a mom to me growing up. The grandpa that I shot with, that's his wife. It's my dad's mom. It's the only grandparents I've ever had. And she is salt of the earth, like could eat nails for breakfast, like, but chose to remain soft. Like she could put you in your place all day long, all 5'3" of her, but she would be soft and lovely. And we knew that she was going to pass away because she had Alzheimer's, and anyway, long story. We knew that she was going to pass away, and she pulled me aside one day in her kitchen. This was like 2 months before she passed away. Wow. And she said, I want you to sing 3 songs at my funeral, out of nowhere. And I was like, Grandma, why are we talking about that? And what? And she said, I want you to sing How Great Thou Art, which is like a classic hymn, In the Garden, which is another classic hymn, and I want you to pick the third one. She goes, and you can record them and play them, you know, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm going to assume you've never had to pick a song for someone's funeral. Terrible. Don't recommend it. Don't recommend it. because you know that someone is about to pass away and you're listening to all these songs and it's terrible and none of them do any justice.
That's a very weird
Especially
head,
as a songwriter. You're like, none of these are good enough. So I thought, I'm going to try to write one. And I wanted to finish it before she passed. I didn't get it finished. And I had 3 days from the time that she passed away to finish the song, record a guitar vocal in the studio, get it mixed and bounced to go home. And I had written about half of it, and then she passed away, and I was sitting in my living room the day after she passed because I'm like, I have to finish this song today. Like, I'm grieving, I'm distraught, but in order to do justice to her, I have to.
That's what she wanted,
song.
yeah.
And I'm bawling, like, asking the space around me, like, Grandma, if you're in here, can you please tell me what you want me to say? I'll just be the vessel. Just push it through, like, whatever you want. And I finished it, and it wasn't supposed to be heard by anyone besides the people who attended the funeral. And my team heard it, and I've been with my team for a very long time, so they knew my grandma. They loved her. She loved them. And they were like, you have to record this. And I was like, no, this was for my grandma. And they're like, she deserves to be put down in ink. You wrote this by yourself. You have to cut this.
Wow.
And I was terrified. And I went into the studio and I told the musicians, I'm playing it on my little rubber bridge shaking because it's a song I've written by myself. And these are professional musicians in here. And I'm just like, hey. And I said, can you make this sound like a river baptism? And the river is covered in lilacs, which are my grandma's favorite flower. And maybe my dad and me and my Uncle Ted are sneaking mushrooms off in the corner, but we're all having a great time. And I went in to sing the vocal, and what I thought was a sad song, I started bawling in the middle of singing the vocal because it sounded so happy to me. It sounded like this overcoming joy of like renewal. And that's not the song I wrote.
No, but you've got the gospel vocals in there as well, and it really it lifts. I mean, I was on the train listening, and it's sort of I didn't know all of that. I knew it was about your grandma, but I feel all that energy in that song. It's really hard to get that. Sometimes when we're too emotional writing songs, it just doesn't really work. We're just too in the moment, especially if you have to write it at that time. I'm better writing sort of reflectively. But that's amazing. I mean, do you still perform the song now?
Yeah.
How does it feel when you do it?
Honestly, amazing. Because for the rest of the set, I love all of my songs, right? But I'm concentrating on what my vocal sounds like, where I'm looking, what my body looks like. I'm losing myself in the whole thing. And I'm Kassi Ashton. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce's Sasha Fierce. You go out and you're your thing. When I perform Juanita, I feel like my grandma's granddaughter.
Wow.
For that, I forget what I'm supposed to be looking like or where the camera is or even who's watching. I'm normally singing to the ceiling in hopes that she can hear me.
Gosh, that honestly really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
I really mean that.
Thank you.
The way you just described the performance of your other songs, apart from Juanita, is just something that I don't relate to because when I play, it's just. Is it? It sounds like you have big ambitions of all of it. Like, it's not just the songs, it's not just the singing, it's, like you said, the look. I mean, I don't think like that. And I know a lot of artists don't think like you do. But is that the ambition, to be, as big as Beyonce?
I want to be a superstar, yeah. I grew up in the age of triple threats. Can you sing? Can you write? Can you dance? Can you act? Can you do all of that and more? Are you a superstar? Especially as a female. Can you do all of those things? And that's why I was in dance my whole life. I didn't want to be a dancer professionally. I didn't want to do theater professionally. It was all for this. I didn't really have friends growing up or do any normal things like sleepovers. It was just this.
Really?
And I used to, I signed my record deal like 7 years ago. I used to want to be the biggest thing ever, like as big as Beyonce. And then I learned what this is like. And although it is my dream and I love it, I don't wish to be the biggest, largest over the whole world type of thing. I just wish to be the coolest. I just want to be iconic. So Cher, did she sell more tickets than anyone else? No. But is she the baddest bitch you can think of? Yes. Or like Stevie Nicks. Did she sell more tickets than anybody else? No. But was she extremely iconic in her everything? Was she so authentic that it just welcomed an entire universe of music and fandom and aesthetic? Yeah, that's what I wish for.
That's amazing. So when did that shift come for you? Because that's a big shift in your mental thing. Because I have the same thing. I was literally, it was always like, I want to be the biggest star in the world. And then you start the journey, like you say, and you realize actually just being able to do the thing and do the way you want to do it.
Right.
I mean, I was really surprised that you went to Belmont. I just did not think that you did. I don't know why. Like, I can't imagine. I know you're with big scholarship. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like? Because I've met a lot of Belmont people. I mean, politely. I don't know. Like, you're very different. And was it hard fitting in there?
Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. My grandma, Juanita, wanted me to go to school. And I was like, for what?
I should explain also, sorry, like, for people who don't know, Belmont is like a very prestigious...
private school, yes. A very
Nashville,
expensive, at the end of Music Row, prestigious private school. I got the scholarship, and that's the only way I could go. And I showed up in square-toed shit kickers, which are crappy cowboy boots that you definitely don't wear to dinner. I showed up in a ball cap and jeans like I had just got off the farm. And I never felt overly country in my hometown. I never felt overly that. And then I got to Belmont and I was like, am I a hillbilly? And I will never forget freshman year, there were so many kids. They're like, oh yeah, last time I was in the studio, I da-da-da-da-da. Or you have to listen to my new EP on iTunes. And I'm like, what's an EP? Like, I knew I could sing. I'm like, line us up and we'll sing and I'll tell you why I'm here, but I don't know anything that you're saying. I've never sang into a recorded microphone unless it was like a cheap Sears catalog, like karaoke machine I got for Christmas. I've never done any of that stuff. I've sang on gooseneck trailers. So that was a shift. That was definitely a shift for me. But I learned very quickly that none of that mattered. Could I out-sing everybody in the room? Was it going to outwork everybody in the room? And did I have something truthful to say that someone else would feel seen by?
And is that, I mean, the culmination of that, with all that hard work and that, is the showcase that you won? I mean, that must have been... I mean, I don't want to put my middle finger up, but I mean, the biggest, like, not middle finger. I don't, that sounds too combative, actually. It was just, that must have been the big stamp of approval where you're like, I belong here.
Yes, and that showcase, me doing it was just a fluke. My friend, one of my best friends in college, Emily Landis, she was like, you have to do the showcase. And I was like, nobody gets anything from those. They do it and they prep, and then none of these people are walking out of these with record deals. They're not getting publishing deals. They're just doing this thing, and it's kind of an ego boost on campus. And she was like, yeah, but if you do it, it'll work. And I was like, whatever, I'll just do it. It was my senior year of college. And I won. And because it's at the end of Music Row, a bunch of music execs were in the room. And then that led to a bunch of publishing deal offers. And then that led to a record deal a year later.
That's so. I mean, Emily Landis.
It was like a loophole. I mean,
I
know. I owe her everything. But then
sounds like 10% from it.
She's a songwriter. She got a deal at the same time. So it was like we really felt like we did it for each other.
That's tough because Nashville is so... it's amazing, but there is a competitive side to it. To have someone like Emily, it sounds like you found your people pretty quick.
Yeah. But I worked all of college. I worked downtown.
Oh, really?
Like downtown, as a waitress and
where
a
bartender.
Where
did you work? Where were you?
I worked at Hooters. I made a lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
It was my mom's idea. I worked at Hooters, and then I worked at a karaoke bar in Printers Alley. And at Hooters, I worked 5 and 6 days a week. No one at school had jobs.
Wow.
They would get upset because their parents weren't buying them the newest Mercedes, and I just could not relate to that. I just couldn't. And so I thought, I'm paying all of my bills, basically, and I live downtown, and I tried to stay out of what they call the Belmont bubble. Because the Belmont bubble is sort of this academia thing that can happen to people where they come in wanting to be an artist, like an actual commercial pop or rock or country, and they have the thing, right, that needs to be cultivated, but then they turn into like a cappella singers who care about, you know, minor ninth plus 11, blah, 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 and it gets too brainy, and then they end up being teachers. Or they see that by senior year, they haven't actually developed their artistry at all because they've been focused on the actual, like, technicality of music. And I tried to keep my brain out of that because I'm in a genre where 3 chords and the truth. All you need to do is, can you write your truth down in a way that somebody can relate to? And do you know G, C, and D? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of keep yourself out of that thing and really ask yourself who you are, what's authentic artistry-wise, because people are going to relate to that faster than the actual technical mumbo-jumbo of it all.
Just, I'm sorry, I'm thinking as you're talking, so it's amazing because I feel like, so I have a radio show as well on Absolute Radio Country, and you were one of our class of 2025. And it's really nice watching your, particularly streams, and that's not the only way to look at success,
right.
but
yeah.
seeing, I'm sure there's some of those Belmont people that we won't name, but some artists who maybe have one song that has like 100 million plays or 150, 200 million plays.
Right.
And then the rest are like,
nothing.
There's nothing. And they haven't really got a following. But I feel like watching your career from the outside, it feels like because you are so genuine, you're building up this fan base thing, just being who you are. And I feel like, is it fair to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not really playing the game the way it should be played?
Right.
Is that fair? Do you feel that way or not?
Yeah. And I also think that that was not necessarily by choice at the beginning. I would encounter terrible luck. I'm on my 3rd label head. I've been at my label for 7 years. The first time I was supposed to go to radio, COVID happened a week later. And so there have been many things where roadblocks that happened, I call it a conveyor belt. Nashville label, everything is a conveyor belt. You get put, you sign, you get on the thing, you ride the trolley through the thing, and you get spritzed, you get shined, you come out the other side. It's a conveyor belt. And I got pushed off the conveyor belt so many times, or roadblocks put in front of me, that I just had to figure out. And then it became clear to me that I prefer it that way, and that I want to kind of do it my way. I'm if nothing else, I am a creative. I want to create. That's why it went from I want to be the biggest to I want to be the coolest, because I want time to actually still make art.
Yeah.
And like be in my cave as a little rat girl, like making my stuff. And so I thought, why can't I apply that creativity and that knowledge and that California, Missouri, my dad's shop efficiency to how my career works as well?
I love that. But there is an irony, and I think you said this, that your countryness has been called into question at times.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But why do you think that is? From everything we've been chatting for how long? Half an hour, and you sound like the most country person I've ever met.
Thank you.
And yet, so why do you think that is? Your countryness is called into question.
Well, I think one part of it, there was a point in my career where I was somewhat making pop music, and I was telling myself that it was country, and so I think that kind of diverted the reputation a little bit. Okay. And also, I think I mean this in a nice way, I don't pander. I don't say the buzzwords that you're supposed to say to be interpreted as country. Like, I just don't want to do that. It feels fake. I wouldn't normally say those in my verbiage, or I wouldn't pander this direction, or say, like, I just wouldn't. And so, yeah, it's been difficult. And also, because I have a degree, I sing with correct vowel shapes. so sometimes I actually had an argument. I say that because I had an argument with a radio PD once, because he was like, you don't sound country when you sing that song. And I said, I want you to listen to my vowel shapes and the noises that my tongue and my mouth make in the song. I want you to recognize them, the song that you think isn't country. And then I'm going to sing Help Me Make It Through the Night by Chris Christopherson with those same vowel shapes, and you tell me if it's country or not. And I did it, and I go, okay, now I'm going to sing a Patsy Cline song with those exact same noises in my mouth, and you tell me if they sound the same. And he sat there in his living room, and he was like, oh. And I go, yeah. Old school people would open their soft palate, and they would use their mouths correctly, and I'm doing that now sometimes, and you think I'm not singing country enough.
I mean, I don't know how you remain so calm in those stories, because it's interesting. Like I'm a singer, and Americans, you're very pharyngeal first, like you said. You're like, that's how. Yeah, and you're right. When I listen to your voice, and you probably hate this comparison you get a lot, but the Amy Winehouse thing. Of like,
I don't hate that. I think that is so complimentary. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but and also the way you hold yourself, you're a bit similar. I don't know. And there is a bit of a blues element to your voice, but. So what? It's just like
literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I find it frustrating for you, and then you touched on the fact that your album was delayed with COVID.
Yeah.
And so 7 years later, finally your debut album is finally out.
Isn't that insane?
I mean, that must feel. What does that feel like? Is it like relief, but also like I don't know, just? Whew.
It's relief. It's excitement. It's a spectrum, obviously. The worst end of the spectrum is like, why did it take this long? And it comes out and everyone loves it, and you're like, I could have had 3 of these by now. But then at the best end of the spectrum is, I probably wouldn't have liked what I made 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I would probably hate that and not ever want to sing it ever again. Whereas the music I'm making now, I'm old enough to know who I am and what I like. And I believe, knock on wood, that I'm making music that I will still love and will still be authentic to me in 20 years, which I wouldn't have made that at 24 or 25. I'm 31 now. I've been in therapy for 8 years. I know what I am and what I want to sound like and what I want to say. So I am grateful in some aspects that it did take so long.
Yeah, I think it is definitely can be a blessing in disguise because, a lot of artists don't get that. I've got a couple of friends who've had big success in their 20s, and then it's like you get to your 30s, and that's when you really, I feel like in country, know what you want to say, and you haven't got the chance anymore.
Yeah, or you have to perform that song that you hate every night. That would suck.
Yeah, I feel like you've got one song that really sums that up, that chasing that dream, but also everything you just said, Till the Lights Go Out. Yeah. That song, I mean, it's an anthem, isn't it? It's like, don't give up. Yeah. I'm going to keep doing this until the lights go out.
Till I die.
I think Till the Lights Go Out is more poetic than
yes, that was the point. That was the point. Yeah, it's just kind of, I was at this point, that was the last song that we wrote for the album, and I was at this point like, if this is the only thing I ever get to say, then at least you'll know.
Love that. Love that. Everything you say sounds like a greeting card in a good way. In a good way, not in a horrible way.
Hallmark, send me your money.
Just before you go, we want to ask you about your kind of life outside music. You touched on all the fashion stuff, of course, which is unbelievable. If you don't know, if you have time, go onto Kassi's Instagram and look, because the clothes, it's amazing what stuff you do.
Thank you.
But obviously this podcast is about the places, and you got married recently-ish. Yeah. Was it a significant place where you got married?
Key West, Florida.
What's the significance of?
We met there.
Okay.
8.5 years ago at the Songwriting Festival. My husband runs a publishing company, and we're both from Missouri, but we don't know each other. And he proposed to me on the pier where we met in Key West. And then it was always, we go to Key West once or twice a year because it's kind of a relaxing place for us. And we knew we had 45 people at our wedding. We wanted a small, immediate family best friend. Here's our favorite place in the world. Let's get out of our heads. Let's get out of our industry and just love.
Love that. No, that's amazing. I mean, is it a good thing being married to someone in the industry, or is it sometimes a bit overwhelming because all you talk about is music? You have to go sometimes to just switch off. Let's just stop.
It's fabulous because he gets it, and I don't have to explain anything because doing this, people who don't do it want you to explain to them how something works, and I'm like, hey, I could spend 3 hours and you're still not going to get it. And that's not an insult to you. This is just a very complex, subjective career. right? And it's not what you see in the movies, or it's not what you saw on TikTok or whatever. And so to have someone who understands, it honestly allows you to talk about it less.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
he gets
Wow,
it.
okay.
Yeah, and also because we're, Nashville's like high school with money. Our industry is so small. He knows everyone. He knows everybody's reputation, so I don't have to be like, oh, this person, and then tell a backstory. He knows how it works. And it is amazing to be married to someone who is as passionate about it as you are, of like, hey, if we do this until we die and we never make a nickel, that's fine.
Wow. And do you play him the songs that is that a thing?
Oh, yeah, he helps book my rights.
Oh,
It took a really
you're
long...
signed to his publishing?
No.
Yeah.
It took a very long time before we, kind of crossed careers. We would just like kind of advise each other as two people who love each other and want what's best. And within like the past 2 years, I let him give me writer suggestions, or he listens to songs and helps me pick what to cut, because nobody knows me better than he does.
And that's hard though, because I mean, as artists and writers, we all have that one person, or a couple of people, and often they're family members if they're not in the industry, and but if that person's actually qualified to do the job, it's it's really a bit more helpful.
Like my older sister will be like, well, can I hear new songs that aren't out yet? And I'll be like, no. I don't want your opinion. I love you so much. You can hear them when they're recorded.
It's kind of like having a meal before it's finished, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I'm making bolognese and it just tastes like onions, right? Yeah, but I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the song yet.
Exactly.
Also, you spoke earlier about motorcycles and you've got your Harley, you said. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so good. How often do you get to ride it?
Not as often as I would like, but especially this time of year in Tennessee, like October and November, perfect. I actually ride a lot in November because November slows down in Nashville. We basically have award season and then we just quit. Like nobody works in November and December, so I ride a lot in November.
Is that like a club of you?
I definitely have friends that ride, but I mostly ride by myself.
Tony Zach Brown's big. He's really into it, isn't he?
Yeah. John Party, who I was with all year on tour, he rides Harleys.
Did you ride together? Did you go out together?
No, we've never rode together.
Oh, come on, John.
No, and then Matthew Ramsey, the head of Old Dominion,
Yeah.
who I'm on tour with right now, and Jeff, the bass player, they both ride Harleys too.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I just love that you just comes the head of Old Dominion. That's really funny.
Oh, he would, the lead singer. Sorry, Matt. The front man of Old Dominion.
That's brilliant.
He would be like, yes, absolutely. If he was in here, he'd be like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Yeah, they both ride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like you just start a club, start a group.
If we're ever in town at the same time, it'd have to be like a Monday.
Yeah, totally. Just before you go, some quick fire questions. I've had so much fun. Honestly.
I know.
Thank you. You've been so open.
Seriously, thank you.
These are just quick ones.
Okay.
So, the strangest place you've ever written a song.
The strangest place I've ever written a song. I would say in my car by myself, I just sing random melodies and I go, oh, wait, that's okay. Yep, I'll just write that down.
Oh, are you writing down or are you straight to the phone?
Voice memo.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. The place you feel most yourself.
That is very much two answers. Either on stage to a room full of people who are singing the songs back to me, or in my house in 3-day-old sweats creating something for getting to eat. That is fully me, 5,000%.
Right. Do you really feel really comfortable on stage? Like you 100%, you're in the moment, nothing, no anxiety, nothing at all?
Yeah, no.
That's great.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't if your mum was telling you you're a star. It sounds like you had such a,
I got put on stage for the first time when I was like 4.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't make me nervous.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Thank you.
The place you've never been to but would love to visit.
I have never been to a lot of places. I've never been to France. I had a layover in Paris, but that doesn't count. I really want to go to France, even if they hate Americans. I really want to go to Australia. I've never been. I was supposed to go in 2020.
Oh, no.
And I didn't get to because of the pandemic.
You'll love it there. It's great.
Yeah.
People are very like
I would really.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They're quite loud.
They're like wild.
Yeah.
I like watching Australians on TikTok.
Do you?
Yeah. They're crazy.
Our producer, do you know Lindsay Rhymes? You know him?
Yeah.
He's Australian. And
he's fabulous.
It took me a while to just remember that he's Australian. Sometimes we'd record and he'd be like, oh, mate, fucking blah, blah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Is it bad? Oh, it's okay, it's fine. Just 2 more. The most memorable place you performed?
Last year, there's a venue 45 minutes from my hometown called the Blue Note. It's like an old shitty theater. The seats are ripped out of the floor so that people can spill beer wherever they want. It's maybe like 1,000 cap room with like an upper balcony, and it's where I saw every concert growing up, every single one. And I played it and sold it out for the first time, and that was like my dream venue.
And you sold it out?
Yeah.
You must have been emotional. That must have been crazy.
Just crying the whole time.
Was everyone there, family?
Oh yeah, everyone. And it's crazy to just like watch people that I, used to know when I was 12. Or my high school best friends, like whole family was there, or like 2 of my ex-boyfriends' moms came.
Just the moms, not the ex-boyfriends.
No, just the moms, the moms and the dads, not the sons.
Then the last one, the place that feels most like home to you.
Honestly, my house in Nashville. It's my husband owned it when I met him, and I've lived in that house longer than I've ever lived in any house in my life.
Really? Wow.
And I have it just how I like it. And when I outgrow it, I'm going to be really sad. When I'm with my husband and my 2 dogs, surrounded by all of my belts that I buy 2 of, and my fabric and my art supplies, I call it my rat cave.
Right.
I just get to go in the dark and just create.
Did it come up in your therapy, being a rat? You're a rat girl. You just
I make it a joke. Yeah, I make it a joke because I don't know if you've ever taken the Enneagram test.
No, I know. Is that the personality test?
Yeah, like the 9 types. I'm a 4 wing 3, and I am half and half. So like I like to go in the dark and like not talk to anyone. I'm actually an introvert, which I know you're like, there's no way. I've done this interview for 45 minutes. And like create and not talk to anyone and forget to eat and forget like human interaction. And then I want to run out in the light and get my trophy and run back in a mouse.
Like a rat, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
like a rat, yeah. And you know how like rats like shiny things and like they burrow and like collect? It's me.
So he's going on stage, is that your collecting the shiny thing and run back to the back?
Look what I worked on in my rat cave. Okay, I gotta go. And then they're like, no, you want to talk after you show your trophy. And you're like, no.
Back to the cave.
Yeah, back to the cave.
Oh, well, Kassi, thank you so much. It's been so
much
fun. I'm so excited for your shows as well. They will have already happened when this comes out, but they went amazingly, didn't they? Incredible.
Yes, amazing.
Amazing, the best shows ever.
London is one of my favorite places I've ever been.
Oh, amazing. Well, you're so many fans here, and I was a fan. I'm more of a fan now.
Thank you very much.
Wow, I mean, you genuinely don't meet many people like Kassi Ashton in this world. She's so wonderfully unfiltered and just so unashamedly herself as well. And I've never heard anybody describe themselves as a rat girl and make it sound positive. I mean, I know exactly what she meant by that. I'm going to call myself a rat boy from now on. Please leave us a review or a comment if you like this one and share it with anyone you think will love it too, regardless of whether you're a country fan. I think anyone and everyone could feel inspired after listening to Kassi's story. If you haven't also already, listen to her album Made from the Dirt from top to bottom, and make sure you follow her for more live dates. Her merch also literally says, but do they sound good live? So you know she's going to be brilliant. This podcast is a Spiritland creative production produced by Emma Roberts and presented by me, Ben Earl. I'll catch you next Thursday for more Where This Came From. Hope you can join me then.